Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a shot of espresso brought to you by Brewing with Company. How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing
Nice,
good.
nice. Today, I kind of want to bring our topic to something that is near and dear to my heart. By the way, I got a new microphone, so no more crazy echoes. So there's that.
Sounds so beautiful.
Thank you, thank you. One of my favorite topics of all time is superheroes, and I know you probably saw that trailer a couple of days ago that it just dropped. That 1943. Did you watch it?
Oh, dude, Amy Henning, she does not miss.
It does not
She does
miss.
not miss. There's a reason the Uncharted series was so fucking, excuse me, that's how passionate I am. So good. So good. But yeah, that was probably the most realistic video game trailer I think I've ever seen in my entire life. I think. I mean, I may just be overhyped about it, but it looks pretty good.
It does. It really does. Like there's always like a time when in like what do I want to say exactly here? Like when something comes out and it just changes. It ups the scale for all the other competitors to be like, okay, that's where we need to be at. For me, back when I was a kid, do you remember when the 360 came out and yeah, actually it was the 360 came out, and do you remember the King Kong game?
I vividly remember the King
Yeah.
Kong game. It's a
So
great video game. You're talking
yeah,
about
so
off the Peter Jackson film, right?
yeah. So when I was a kid, I've been playing games since I was like 5. So back when we were kids, graphics weren't always as nice as they were now. That was when we saw the trailer for the King Kong. I was like, oh my god, that was incredible. That looked like a movie. And now I kind of feel the same way. Like I think video games just had a new new jump in quality that I'm excited for, and especially for superhero games because besides a small handful, in my opinion, we haven't really had that many great superhero games besides Arkham, besides Spider-Man. I'm trying to think right now.
Ultimate Alliance.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Well, more specifically, Ultimate Alliance 1 and 3. I'm not saying two's bad.
Mm,
I'm just saying, in my opinion, 1 and 3, and then two are
right.
are the better games. And I think you're right. I think there's always going to be something after a generation that makes it trickle down into like, oh, this is the new standard, just
Right.
like you were saying. And of course, in topic with uh, superhero movies, or sorry, just superheroes in general,
Hmm.
that's basically like Iron Man with John Favreau is basically that. That was like 2008. We had the Sam Raimi films for Spider-Man, but
Yeah.
even then it was still kind of trying to find itself because Sam Raimi really clicked with Spider-Man 2, and then Spider-Man 1 was that nice campy movie, and then Spider-Man 3, is Spider-Man
Hey,
3.
hey, 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 hey,
I
hey.
I enjoy Spider-Man 3, by the way. I'm
Yeah.
not I'm not talking too
Unpopular
hard on it.
opinion. Unpopular opinion. I understand like how bad that movie is, but I can't have a bad time watching it. It's entertaining. That's the point of it. It's
It's Topher Grace.
yeah,
It's Topher Grace as Eddie Brock. The
right.
least Eddie Brock person you could possibly have. You have the kid from that 70s show as Venom. It worked out fine. I still think it was great. But
I
yeah, like
mean,
I
yeah. At
definitely
the end of
agree.
the day, you watch a movie to be entertained, and I can explain to you exactly word for word, line for line, the problems with that movie, but it's still great. So
It's
it got its
fantastic.
job done. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the future of the superhero genre in gaming. With this new trailer, I know that we've only seen the trailer once. Well, okay, you've probably seen it a couple of times too. Um, but we've only seen this one trailer with the look of that, and now that I'm just thinking about it too, like the look of Grand Theft Auto 6, for example, um, with the quality of these games, do you think, one, that the future of superhero gaming is still bright, even with, some, we can call them flops now, like Suicide Squad? Um, and do you also think that sometimes quality is too much quality is holding it back? You know what I mean? You know what I mean when I say that? Like the gameplay?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. So yeah, I think it's more than fair to call them flops, and not because people.
I wasn't trying to
Well,
be
it's well, I mean, there's a difference between being critical
Mhm.
and having a strong critique of what you're playing, because like Suicide Squad and the Avengers were the downfall of live service.
Yeah.
So the reason I have trust in the 1943 is three big reasons, right? Number one, it looks so ridiculously hyper realistic. Like
Yeah.
I remember I I remember the trailers and stuff and the gameplay reveal for like The Last of Us Part 2,
Mhm.
and that was the last time, and even though that was only 4 years ago, that was the last time I was like, "Oh, this is the future of gaming, motion
Right.
capture and doing all these things." This is another one of those moments where I was like, "Okay, this is the future of gaming." And the second reason I think this has validity is because although they didn't give us gameplay, which the gaming industry just never will when they
Mhm.
do stuff like this, but when Amy Hennig came on stage and they started going through the actual tech demo in real time
Oh yeah.
with the cutscene,
Mhm.
that gave me some strong validity to, oh, this game actually looks like this and it actually runs like this. When they were doing the cutscene between Rogers and oh gosh, what's T'Challa's grandfather's name? Azula
Oh,
or whatever.
I don't know his name, but
Yeah, the current Black Panther of the time,
T'Chaka's father. Yes.
Azuri, and
Okay.
I don't know if I pronounced that right, but when they're still acting and then they're messing with the environment around them while
Mhm.
the cutscene was going on, that gave a lot of validity to, one, Unreal Engine 5. That's
Oh
impressive.
yeah.
And two, it just made me realize like this is really in-game footage of what's going on right now. And the third reason I have trust in this particular game and a little bit of the future of superhero games is because it's Amy Hennig. You're entrusting great storytelling, which is what superhero games need, by the way. Cut this
Yes.
online live service crap. This is what superhero games need is their stories. Comic books are what?
So
Stories. Exactly. So I actually think this could be video games. I mean, this is a bold statement, so don't just take it at face value. This could be video games equivalent of Jon Favreau's 2008.
I I hope you're right. I really do, because um just a very quick backstory about me. Superheroes, especially Marvel and DC superheroes, specifically Spider-Man and Batman, have a truly, and excuse me, Spider-Man, Batman, and Black Panther, sorry, have a deep history with me, because when I was in foster care, those are my heroes, and I always wanted to be like them. So I really resonated with those characters in comic books and TV shows and stuff like that. So if they can deliver some great future content based off of this, if this is going to be like the start of an entirely new um MGU, Marvel Gaming Universe. I don't know.
You might
uh,
have just coined the term right there.
right? Yeah, go ahead and pay me for that one. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Especially you can bring in Yuri Spider Man and Miles Morales. I'm sorry, I don't remember his voice actor's name at the moment. But you can bring them in to make it, what's the word, validity, or something along those lines. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not a professional speaker, so I'm just gonna say whatever comes to my mind.
I think, yeah, I think this has a strong suit to make something bigger. I feel like we said this about Spider-Man 2018 though as well. To like, I'm gonna allow you to coin the term MGU. I'm just gonna say that. So for the MGU, um, I think it would allow these two universes to combine, but that's
Mhm.
kind of what Insomniac's already doing because Wolverine, it was already confirmed to be in the same universe as Spider-Man.
Is it?
Yeah, that was confirmed
Okay.
a while ago by Insomniac, the head of Insomniac, and he, if you allow, but see, if with the way this new 1943 looks and the way it has the potential of feeling and the story it might capture, I don't know if I want it to be in the same universe with uh Insomniac's
So just
universe that they're building,
start a new one.
or just let it be its own damn thing.
You're right. You know what? I kind of just fell into that. You know what? You're absolutely right.
Well,
You
it's
know
because
something?
society, like, it keeps happening. We
It
keep
keeps
making
happening.
universes. The
So
Avengers made that happen.
and after a while, that does dilute, making something special. So you do have a pretty good point to say there. Um, yeah, I'll have to think about that more of where. I mean, I'm not creating the game, so I don't know where it's going to go. I have no say in where it's going to go in the future. But yeah, interesting. I like that. Um, yeah, so I wanted to also kind of tie that also in with a short talk about the superhero genre in media altogether. So like for example the movies and I don't know if you've been reading a little bit of the comics, but honestly i'm not i'm just I'm not very impressed with the way that a lot of comic book movies um superhero genre in entertainment is going, besides Invincible and The Boys. I actually need to watch the that spin-off TV show. But I think season 4 of The Boys is going to come out this year.
I think you're right. Yeah,
Yeah, something like that. So,
it's it's hard because I'm not gonna lie, I'm marveled out, and the reason I'm marveled out is because I will say they held me longer
Mhm.
than I thought. Both of the Spider-Mans, Far From Home and No Way Home, were great. And that may be just a bias on my part because I'm just a major Spider-Man fan.
Yeah.
Just not just video games, not just comic books, just the character of Spider-Man. I'm a huge fan of.
Mm.
But I thoroughly enjoyed Shang-Chi. I thought it was fantastic. Not like top notch. I'm just saying
Sure.
of this generation of superhero movies post Endgame, thought it was pretty good. But then you take me to Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and that
Yeah.
was, dude, I'm sorry, that was not just one of the worst Marvel movies I've ever seen. That was just one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's a bad movie. And then the icing on the cake, Thor: Love and Thunder was garbage. It was
Yeah.
absolute garbage. Regardless of, and everybody's just like, well, maybe you don't understand the nuance of what's happening, and did you get all the references? And no, I get the comic book references.
Yeah.
That doesn't make it good. That you
It-
threw Guardians of the Galaxy in there, therefore it's good. No, that's not how it works. And this whole comic relief thing that was successful in Ragnarok, tripling down on that was just too much,
it
dude.
was too much. Um, I I feel sorry for honestly. for- I feel sorry for the original Avengers in the movies who are left now, because I mean at this point, like the Hawkeye show was barely passable, if that. I may be being a little bit generous on that one. Honestly, I can't think of a single of the Marvel MCU TV shows that
Moon
were
Knight.
good.
Moon Knight was fantastic.
Moon
And
Knight was good.
ironically enough,
Um,
it has nothing, like, it takes place in the universe, but
yeah.
doesn't really reference the rest of the universe at all. But
Oh no,
I thought,
for half a second I was thinking of Eternals when you said Moon Knight, because I was thinking
no,
like,
Eternals, I don't know why people love it so much. I'm sorry.
no,
Maybe
I didn't like
I
it.
think it's garbage, but
They never,
that's just,
no one talks about the giant uh, celestial. It's like poking out of the Arctic Ocean anymore.
yeah, that's just chilling there.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
has been for decades now, I guess. Yeah,
Well,
no,
if you're marveled out, I don't know. Me, I'm a big DC fan, so if you, I do hear that Justice League Crisis on Earth Part One, on excuse me, Crisis on Infinite Earth Part One isn't that bad. I hear that it's not the greatest, greatest because, but like usually the DC, what is it? The DC EU or the DC animated universe.
Yeah.
Though like all of those movies for the most part were fantastic, and then the newest one that just came out this year, I haven't watched yet. I'm waiting for my lady to be caught up on all of the DCAU movies. Um, uh, I'm excited for it. I'm excited to watch it. I hear a lot of people love it, so if you're marveled out on some for superhero genre, I would recommend that.
I think the superhero genre won't die. I think after the MCU established itself and the
Mhm.
first Avengers came out, I don't think it's gonna completely die. I definitely think it it took too many branches off of that tree.
Yeah, I agree
Doing
with
too
that.
many shows, too many things. That again, the Disney effect was its major issue after Endgame. Which, to be honest, I think Endgame was a proper send off. I think we could have killed that universe and still kept superhero movies going.
Yeah,
Nobody would have been against that. But then again, I really like the Spider-Man films and they take place in the same universe. So I don't know. DC does a really good job of the animated movies. I really enjoy the DC animated movies. Like Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is like the nerdiest thing I've ever seen in my life, and I love it.
it's
Um,
awesome.
so that kind of stuff is good. I think I'm trusting it more in the video game space,
Yeah,
and it's kind of the same thing with Star Wars. You know what I mean? Although
yeah.
the Acolyte trailer was really good
Oh,
for
really?
Star
You
Wars.
you like that one?
Did you not like it?
Not as much. I won't say now. I have heard a lot of people say some crazy stuff about it. That they're saying like, you know how people get, making it really divisive. But honestly, I wish that they were doing something a little bit different. I wish they just were to go back way further in time, because I wish they go back like way more than 1,000 years.
Old
Because they're only
Republic.
going back 100 years, and at that point, everything like I'm afraid that they're just gonna try and not virtue signal. Well, yeah, I mean South Park did. South Park was ahead of the game. The whole member berries thing. They're gonna just do the member berries thing, and I'm kind of done with the whole member stuff. Remember this? Like okay, now granted, if they show Darth Tenebris and training Darth Plagueis, or Darth Plagueis training Palpatine, or like something of that nature. Actually, no, excuse me, no, Tenebris was still excuse me, Plagueis at that time anyway. So no, so yeah, Palpatine wasn't born yet. 100 years before. So okay, that would be cool. But like, I kind of want to go as like far away from the Skywalker timeline as
As
possible.
humanly possible. Yeah,
Like,
I would agree.
let's do something new. Let's see something interesting. Now, I'm sure that they're going to do something. We're going to see something interesting. And I know some people are like, oh well, they can't be any Sith in this one because in Phantom Menace, the Jedi said that the Sith hasn't been seen in 1,000 years and all that stuff. Maul was the first one. Okay, like first off, calm down. They literally grew millions of clones right underneath the Jedi Council's nose. They're gonna miss some stuff, all right. And not only that, but Palpatine was literally next door the entire time. So the Jedi Council can probably miss some things, but um, I I just I just wish that they would just be like, let's do something completely new and take a risk or whatever like that. Maybe they are, and I'm just being a little too
Well, and that's what
picky.
I want with Marvel. That's what I
Yeah.
want with Marvel is something completely new. I like the idea of um, X-Men 97.
Mm-hmm.
I love the idea.
Watched it yet?
Neither have I. But
Okay.
I like the concept. I mean, it may suck. I have no idea, but I like the concept of maybe Marvel needs to take a step back from these big blockbuster movies and go back to making animated shows for a little bit. I would not mind. I would not mind sacrificing a Fantastic Four movie for a brand new written cartoon style or artistic style, I should say, comic style,
Mhm.
Fantastic Four television show.
Yeah, like back when we
Make
were kids.
You can still make it like, gritty and dark and maybe a little
Yeah,
throw a little blood in there, make it a little more adult themed. But I like the idea that they're going with this whole Pedro Pascal thing. Not saying that I like Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic, but I'm saying
yeah,
the whole 1960s vibe and putting it somewhere else.
yeah.
I'm getting more excited by tiny little details like that because I'm like, okay, we're doing something new. I want to get
Wait,
away from the MCU.
now I've been trying to keep away from as much noise as possible on that one because I kind of wanted to be surprised and whatnot. Did you say that they're going to take place in the 1960s? That's kind of interesting.
That's like the hunch. Did you see the poster with Pedro
I
Pascal
did
and
see the poster, but I thought that
yeah,
was
it looks all Jetsons.
interesting.
I
Interesting.
mean, again, little details like that I think can keep this kind of stuff alive. But in
Yeah.
in terms of fully answering your question of like where's it going and is it going to be around? I think yes, it's going to be around, but I
Mhm.
think really old school fans who sort of embody the idea of like this is what Stan Lee and Ditko and all these guys made for us. I mean, obviously long before our time, but I'm just saying like that was embodied by the MCU. And having Stan Lee be in the background for all these things was always really good. So I'm excited in video games. I gotta say, I think it's dying out in visual media.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's a damn shame. Oh, excuse me. It's a darn shame, but yeah, I just love superheroes so much, and I just wish that that the current owners, Sony, Marvel, and Warner Brothers, so
Disney.
Sony, Disney, and Warner Brothers would just respect their characters more. Like a lot of the things in the movies and in gaming too, especially Suicide Squad. Um, I'm just seeing so much blatant disrespect of what got you, what got you, your fan base. So, and I,
Hey,
yeah,
they reeled me back in with 1943.
yeah,
I've already solidified that pre-order in my brain right now, so
there you go.
I think it's good.
All right. Well, that is me. Is that you?
That's me.
All right then. So I'm gonna be great. I'm gonna let him be great. And ladies and gentlemen, let us be great.